Hello friends, welcome to Programming Concepts. My name is Amit and this is part 2 of our What's New in .NET 7 and C# 11 series. In this video, we will learn about a new C# 11 feature called raw string literals. If you want to learn .NET Core MVC from scratch, you can watch our dedicated playlist created for that purpose. I will share the link in the description. So, what are raw string literals? Raw string literals are a new format for string literals. Raw string literals can contain arbitrary text, including whitespace, new lines, embedded quotes, and other special characters without requiring escape sequence. A raw string literal starts with at least 3 double quotes characters. It ends with the same number of double quotes characters. Typically, a raw string literal uses 3 double quotes on a single line to start the string, and 3 double quotes on a separate line to end the string. Alright, let's put the first 2 points into action. Let's go to Visual Studio. Here I have created a simple console application in .NET 7. Let's say I want to type a message and assign it to a string variable. I will copy this message from Notepad. String str is equal to paste our message. Now I want to break this line into 2 for better readability. Let's press enter after message. As you can see, it automatically adds the concatenation operator, plus sign at the end. This plus sign is fine for a small string, but it can be quite annoying with larger strings. Next, if I want to print it on a new line, I have to use the escape sequence /n. With raw string literals, you can play with strings as you were typing it in a notepad. Let's create another string called raw string and paste our content within triple double quotes. Now, if I need to break a line, I can simply press enter. There is no compromise in readability and no plus sign is required. Let's print both strings using console.writeLine. So console.writeLine str, console.writeLine /n/n, console.writeLine raw string. And let's run this application. As you can see, there is no difference in the output, but it is much cleaner with raw string literals. Next, sometimes we need different indentation for different lines. With raw string literals, it is quite easy. What I can do, I can break the line by pressing enter, apply a tab for first line, then apply a tab and double space for the second line. And we are done. In the old way, achieving the same indentation requires using escape sequence like /n, /t, /r, etc. Let's copy and paste this line into Notepad and replace both variables with the new indentation. Visual Studio automatically adds the necessary escape sequence /r/n/t. Now if I run the application, I will get the same output. See, working as expected. Let's move on to the next scenario. What if we have to use double quotes within our string? With raw string literals, we can simply apply the double quotes. For example, let's apply it to quoted text. But with the older string format, we have to use the escape sequence to include double quotes. Now if we run the application, we get the same output. See, same output. Let's move back to this slide. The next point is, the new lines following the opening quote and preceding the closing quote aren't included in the final content. This point is already covered in the first line and last line where we used 3 double quotes. The output starts generating from the next line onward and ignore the last line, which is the desired behavior. Alright. The next point is, any white space to the left of the closing double quotes will be removed from the string literals. If you look carefully, there is a line to the left of the double quotes. This line is the starting point of your paragraph. Any white space to its left will be automatically removed at runtime. If you try to create content before this margin, your compiler will complain that the line does not start with the same white space as the closing line of the raw string literal. You cannot put your content to the left of these double quotes. Press Ctrl+Z to undo the changes. If I push these double quotes to the left, you will observe the space will be added in the output as well. Just press backspace as soon as I move these quotes. You will see that the line also moves. Let me run this program to confirm if we get space at the beginning. And yes, we have spaces at the beginning of the new raw string literals. Next is, raw string literals can be combined with string interpolation to include braces in the output text. Multiple dollar characters denote how many consecutive braces starts and ends the interpolation. Let's say we have two variables, longitude and latitude. Let's create them. To use them in string interpolation, we can do it with the old string format by using $ at the beginning, followed by /n. You are at longitude, latitude. Now, let's try the same thing with the new string literals. Just copy and paste it in a new line and run our application. Working as expected. Now let's consider a scenario where I want to use curly braces around longitude and latitude to escape them. In the old string format, we have to use double curly braces to display curly braces within string interpolation. Let's do that. Let me try the same thing with raw string literals interpolation. You can see that we have an error stating the interpolated raw string literal does not start with enough dollar characters to allow this many consecutive opening braces as content. It's because the number of dollar characters we use at the start of the string determines the number of curly braces needed for the string interpolation. Since we specify single $, a single pair of curly braces is required for string interpolation. Here the compiler assumes you want to interpolate within interpolation, which is not allowed. To fix this, we can add another $. This way, when we specify two curly braces, it will be treated as a string for interpolation. So now I will append another curly brace before and after longitude and latitude. And it works the same way as before. However, if we want to display curly braces in the output, we can add one more curly brace to them. Since it is a single curly brace, it is considered as a normal string and not as a string for interpolation. You can add as many $sign as you want to signify interpolation in raw string literals. I hope you understand this. Let me run our application once again. As you can see, we get the required output. The next scenario is when we use 3 double quotes to specify that this is a special case of raw string literals. What if I want to use 3 quotes within my output? It is the same as with string interpolation. You can use as many quotes in the beginning to define the string literals as we discussed in our slide. At least 3 quotes are required. Let's say I want to use 4 double quotes to define a raw string literal. Next, I have to end it with 4 double quotes. Now, if I want to use 3 double quotes, I can easily do that. Just add 3 double quotes before and after the quoted text. Similarly, if you want to display 4 double quotes, add 5 double quotes in the beginning and end, and use up to 4 quotes within your string. Let me quickly do that as well and run the application. As you can see, we get the required number of double quotes. Let's move back to the slide. The last point is, this feature makes JSON and XML string literals more readable and easier to understand in the code. This makes sense because if you have to write some JSON or XML within a string, readability is compromised. I just copied a sample XML from Google Bard and JSON sample from ChatGPT for no specific reason. Let me copy the XML and assign it to a variable. So the string XML sample is equal to paste XML within double quotes. Now copy JSON sample, and then let's create another variable. String JSON sample is equal to, and paste the copied JSON sample within double quotes. Here you can see how clumsy they look, but if you try the same with raw string literals, you will see how neat and tidy it looks. Try it by yourself. So that's it from this video. Hope you like our content. If you have any queries related to the content of this video, do ask me in the comments. Till then, thanks for watching.